Hi everyone, Erik here, and this is a review on the E010 by Eachine. This is a little ducted fan, tiny palm-sized quadcopter. This is a really quiet quadcopter. It's mostly made for inside flying, but you know, if you are experienced and if there's no breeze outside, it can definitely fly outside because it is a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter. And at the end of the video, I'm going to show you guys how to adjust the headless mode and how to calibrate it, because in the instructions, it is a little confusing. So if you wait till after the flight footage, I'll show you how to do that. If you guys do like this one, I included a link in the description down below where you can pick one up. If you guys have any questions, please just leave them in the comments down below. Thank you. Okay, there is no on and off button, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plug the battery into the body of the quad. You're going to see a light flashing right here, and then go ahead, turn on your controller with the left stick all the way down, bring it all the way up, all the way back down. You're going to hear a beep, and now it's ready to go. That's how you bind it to the quadcopter. So let's go ahead and go. Okay, so I'm going to start out in slow mode. We'll just do a really slow, stable flight, and then I'll show you how this thing, how fast this thing can fly. So there is a little bit of a breeze. This thing has plenty of speed, and if you have the experience, you can fly this thing outside, no problem. So this is full yaw. I'm gonna trim it out real quick. Okay, we'll go full speed, and this is in slow mode. This thing is really quiet. Definitely one of the quietest quadcopters I've ever flown. Those ducted fans are very efficient. They protect the quad really well. It says full speed. We'll do a full speed flyby. And now I'm going to do a couple flips. Now flips with this thing you want to do in the first couple minutes of flying, just because to recover they really do need a lot of battery power. So that was a front flip, back flip. This thing will flip front, back, side to side. So there's a side flip. You can see how much altitude it loses. You want to make sure you have it up about 5 to 6 feet. Okay, we'll go ahead and flip it over to fast mode. Show you full speed and fast mode. And there's full forward. So really stable. The yaw is good speed on the yaw. It's kind of hard to tell which direction it is flying, so I definitely wouldn't fly this thing too far away or too high up. Especially outside, you cannot see those LED lights at all. But really good handling, even when you put in some aggressive turns. Turning's really accurate. It does not oversteer like a lot of other smaller quadcopters. It tracks really nice. That's full speed right there. Really, it's just amazing how quiet this thing is. Try to get some slow hover so you guys can see it. All right, let's go ahead and turn this thing on inside. It's a little bit easier to see how this thing turns on. There is no on and off button, but what you want to do is just connect the battery to the body of the quad. So you just plug it in here. You're going to see the lights start flashing. So once those are flashing, set it down on a flat level surface. Go ahead and turn your control on. And then your left stick, which is your throttle, you're going to bring it all the way up, all the way down. Once the light's solid, And this light is solid. That means it's bound to the quad. So now it should be ready to go. You do have your 4-bladed props, which don't have to spin as fast because you got more surface area here. And the nice thing about these blades is they really don't hurt that much. I can actually stick my finger in there and stop it from spinning. And same goes for the ceiling. A lot of beginner flyers will take these up, it'll go slam into the ceiling and then crash down because the blades will actually come in contact with the ceiling. But with this thing, it's really well protected, just bounces right off. Overall, a really well protected quadcopter. Now, as far as the design goes, very similar to the Blade Inductress, but the E010 is definitely going to be a whole lot cheaper. And it also reminds me a whole lot of the Airhog's Helix. This thing is definitely cool to look at and cool to fly, not very high performance, kind of slow. You only get the 3 blades in here. It just felt like this thing was struggling to cruise along. The flips on this thing are pretty good as long as you do them within the first 2 minutes of the battery. After that, it struggles to recover when it's coming back up from that flip, and it just loses a whole lot of altitude. So make sure you maintain about 5 to 6 feet before you do flips. And the batteries are swappable. So if you do want to buy extra batteries, it's really nice, especially on these smaller quadcopters. They usually don't have the replaceable batteries, but this one does. This is just a little 150 milliamp hour lipo. And one thing that the Blade Inductress does not have, at least I don't think it does, is the headless mode. So basically what that means is if the quadcopter, let's say it's so far away from me and here's the front right here, if I'm in headless mode and if I pull back, it's going to fly back towards me. And same goes if I go forward, it's going to go forward even though it's really flying sideways. So to calibrate your headless mode, what you want to do is first put it in headless mode. So that's this little button right here. Hold it down. And now you know it's in headless mode when you see that light flashing. And to get it calibrated, what you want to do, stand in position, keep the quadcopter flat, facing away, and then pull both controls down and to the left. You'll see it flash really quick and then flash slow. And now it's ready to go. So in headless mode, let's go ahead. Here's the front of the quadcopter. It's facing that way. Let's go ahead and put it right here. And what I'm going to do is pull this throttle, pull my control back. So it should fly back towards me, even though that is the side of the quadcopter right there. So let's go ahead and pull it back, give it a little throttle. And that's headless mode pretty much summed up right there. So the same thing goes for, if I want to go sideways. If I go sideways, now it's going to go in reverse, but it's just going to stay true to this control. So let's go ahead and try that. And to take it out of headless mode, just press this button again, and the light on the quadcopter will stay solid. And it does come fully assembled. You do not have to do anything. You just pretty much charge the battery and put in 2 AA's into your remote and you're ready to go. It does come with 4 extra blades, although I have not had them come off. I imagine if you do crash this thing pretty hard, you might lose some blades, but overall, pretty solid quadcopter, great for beginners. And it is really nice that you can swap out the batteries. You do have this USB charger. This makes a really good inside flyer, great for kids. If you guys do have any questions, please just leave them in the comments down below. If you found the video helpful, I always appreciate those thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe to keep up to date with my future reviews. And thanks so much for watching.